Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War Guild Wars week 70, day 5. So earlier this morning, we got Pure Faction completed. If we go over down to Pure Faction, or Werewoods, we can see that we now have 2,500. So we got this pet maxed. We ended up getting all the bonus, so we actually got an armor from it earlier. Next faction will end up bringing in extra magic. And yeah, got everything maxed on it, so don't need to worry about that anymore. So that has been completed. Also looks like we finished that around 10,000 shards or so that works out nice. But yeah, that was ended up completed. Got that fully completed now. And got it first try, actually. Was it too hard? I feel like it will be still. But we got pretty lucky. Like, we got really, really good RNG throughout most of the run. The final battle... the main strategy, I would say, is more so make sure to take out whatever the biggest threat is at any given time, which is normally the double converter guy. But not always, because if you already have your mana up on the double converter, you don't necessarily need to counter it out, since you already have a counter for it just by casting your own version of it. The mana generator is definitely probably the biggest priority first, though, his first slot. Not only does most of the things on your team prioritize first slot anyways, but you'd want to make sure he gets rid of the mana generator. You also want to make sure you keep the mana generator for yourself and never convert it away. Keeping it as a tank is a good idea because it's the tankiest of the four of them. Or at least it's the consistently tankiest of the four of them. Technically, the one with 20% agile has the same amount of tankiness. However, it's, you know, it's not consistent. It'll only trigger it occasionally, 20% of the time. Whereas the 20% score reduction is consistent every single time. But anyways, let's go head over to Guild Wars. It is Purple Guild Wars, and there is a very fun team I want to be trying that we finally went to get our hero class leveled up. We covered a video on it this morning, but it is this team right here. No, it is not. Wrong. It is this team right here. I forgot. I never changed the team out, did I? Nope, it's not that team either. It is this team right here, which I know for sure I'm keeping as my permanent team because this thing's amazing. It's actually probably one of our more favorite teams in the entire game right now. But this right here is what we're going to be running. And it is Thrall, Vespera. Did I spell Vespera right for the title? Why do I feel like the answer is no? I did. Nice. Okay. Vespera and Doomed Blade, or Doomed Scythe, I mean, with Skeleton. And this ends up getting Thrall up to full mana immediately. And then we go crazy with everything else. That is pretty much the game plan. Just get an immediate Thrall and then mana generate like crazy off of Shabanu Vespera. Also, what on earth is that defend team? What guild are we up against right now? Oh, he's a level 555. Why do they have someone so weak in their guild? What guild are we up against? Glorious Immortals. Well, the second to last in this bracket. I guess they're just taking on a newer player. But that's a really, really easy battle. I was not expecting one that easy, gosh. But yeah, I guess we take it out. Don't think we need to change anything else. It is indeed a purple day today. And let's go test out what this scores. I'm hoping and thinking that this will score as long as you don't like royally mess up. This should be on track for 9,600. Oh, we got freeze. Freeze is still annoying. That hasn't changed. That has not changed. Normally we'd want to go into Scythe, but I need the extra mana right now. And one thing we want to look out for is yellow to purple alignment like that, because then we get everything destroyed and then we win. Pretty much the game plan. Didn't really get to fully show off that team, but hopefully in the next battle we can. But we have to be really careful around freeze. Freeze is a hard counter to this team. And he has freeze, of course. We're going to probably find a lot of teams that use freeze. It is one of those days. Yeah, that was a 100% freebie, that first battle right there. Might as well not have even been a battle. Alright, let's start getting Vespera up. Okay, we got everything we need already. That is nice. I'm actually going to cast it on ourselves, just because we're not frozen on those. So I'd kind of want to get it as an option. Too bad we can't do it on Skull too, but we're actually going to do it on herself, oddly enough. Just try to hit it like a yellow extra turn or blue extra turn, which neither of them we did, but we can go and Skull spam right here and get an AoE. Even though we're entangled, we still get a pretty decent amount of damage there. We could also still extra turn for that since he's not frozen. And then we take the other Skull. Take the other Skull. Try getting Doomed Blade up again and just doing it on itself. To try to get a different extra turn. He did just get a kill, but we could probably just extra turn spam out of it. So we'll go for that. And we did end up getting a summon there. Perfect timing as well. There we go. Good job, Vespera. So we might have lost a little bit of points from that battle. But we did resummon, so that's good. Yeah, she gets a lot of summon. 30% chance to summon every single time we take an extra turn. Okay, we're finally not frozen for once. So we can just take that. That's guaranteed full mana, even if it doesn't surge. Ooh, we just got a really good start. Well, goodbye, skeleton. Ooh, that's an awful start for us. Mostly because his was so good, but we'll go for that. Clear almost the entire board. He gets a kill, which is a little unfortunate. And the board is quite clear of purple. But let's go explode a few things, and we'll get our summon there. And hopefully we can go and repair. We might even just need a buff up first. Actually, we'll buff up last. We'll get that weapon a little bit extra magic if we can. Seems like the better route. So we missed pretty heavily on mana there. Not looking too good. Mostly because it just got such an absurdly lucky start. Oh, I should have used Thrall there, actually. It's not too late. It's board clear. Actually, does he have all the magic? Yeah, he has enough to full board clear. I just wonder why that did so much. Luckily, he's creating yellow, which helps us get this off, if nothing else. Deny all that yellow. Get a gigantic hit there. Recast for a full AoE. And that is almost all we needed. We'll throw that down. Get ourselves the purple again. Throw it on a hero. Wow, that mana went all over the place. Let's get a Thrall down, I guess. That's very unfortunate that that didn't die. I'm just going to go forward again. Oh no, he got a random skull. We should hopefully be able to get resummoned off that, though. We don't have alignment, so we're just going to go and throw that for manas. Did not land our extra turn. Did not land our summon, Come on, with that many extra turns, how did you not hit a summon? There you go. And now we should be able to kill it. There we go. Just wanted to guarantee the summon first. So we are taking a little bit more damage than I would hope to on some of these battles. By some of these battles, I mean literally all of them except for the first one. Are we up against freeze? Well, you can freeze, but do you have normal freeze? Yes, so we are up against a frost mage again. Hopefully, as long as it doesn't frost mage or freeze skeleton or Shabanu. Oh, of course it just froze skeleton. Hopefully it unfreezes it soon. Might even be worth running Cedric just for how annoying freeze is against this team. Might need to do that next Purple Guild War. Instead of running magic, we might want to run cleanse. Because it's really annoying when we have to go multiple turns frozen on that. Oh, luckily we did hit an extra turn there though, so that's nice. Grab that again. And it was hit the full AoE. Hit the full AoE again. Like, that's how it's supposed to work right there. Except with a lot more skeleton cast, because we could use the skeleton to align the doomed blade, or the doomed scythe, Do you have freeze? No. Oh wait, do you have freeze at start? No. You get a freeze whenever we die though. So let's not die. Okay. We need a purple. Why does this board have no purple? That's not nice. I guess I'll try for sky blue for extra turn. Did not get it. There's our purple. A little late. But better late than never. Do we have alignment? No. So just keep casting. Until we do. Do we have it now? No. Go again. Do we have it now? No. Then cast skeleton. Do we have it now? Nope. Then Vespera. How about now? Surprisingly not. How on earth do we still not have it? There we go, finally. Only took us already winning the battle to get alignment. But there we go. And that's how the battle normally plays out with that team. Assuming no interruptions. Like, that final battle is how it ideally would work every battle. But yeah, I was right. It can score 9,600. We just had a really bad second and third battle. Particularly the third battle. But, yeah, 9,500 plus. Anything above 9,500 I'm pretty happy with. We'll definitely need to test it next Purple Guild War and see how it goes. I think whenever we see freeze, we might want to switch to Cedric, though. And then switch out of Cedric for whenever they don't have freeze. And then switch to pure magic instead. But I'll take it. 9,500. And then we have one more Guild War day tomorrow. And we'll see how that ends up panning out. Also, we ended up losing pretty badly yesterday. Unfortunately. But we made up for it some today. If nothing else. Like, so we're going to be about middle bracket. Not sure if we're actually going to make the top. But I'm still not 100% sure how 27 out of 30 works. For when it determines final score. Because I'm not sure if these scores are already showing 27 out of 30. or if it takes effect after the week ends. In which case that'd be kind of confusing because it shows something the entire week and then it changes last minute if that is the case. If anyone knows for sure, do let me know. I'm not 100% certain, as this is the second Guild War. And I'm not 100% sure if they've even mentioned it anywhere. Definitively which way it goes. But anyways, let's go do some of our other dailies. And we already finished out factions, so we don't need to worry about that now. Also, we're starting to level up Diabolist. We got to level 16-3 the previous stream. It was at 60 earlier. Need to get, obviously, to at least 70. Get the base 70, as we have every other hero class at 70. It's actually the only hero class I have that is below level 70. At least for another few days, and then we'll have it to 70. Also, hello, Mr. Jesse. Actually, that reminds me. Did I even say hello to anyone this stream? Hello, Foro. Hello, Jellybean. Hello, Jefferson. Hello, hi. Hello, that's kind of funny. Hello, Drock Savage. Hello, Cookie. Hello, Mr. Jesse. Hello, Birdleaf. And hello, everyone else. Welcome, welcome. Hope all of your weekend's been going well. And hello, Super Scott. Welcome. And hello, Matt. Oh, also, just for fun, I tried Tinder for the first time. I ended up setting up a profile thingy for it while off stream just to see how it is. I do not care for it. I don't see what all the buzz is about it. I've tried other like methods for it in the past, and I don't know. Tinder seems like a really inefficient way of doing it, at least from my experience so far. I only mess around with it for like an hour though. Why? Because why not? What do we even take here? Take a blue for now. Grab Ruane there. And then we just take full green to already dead. Yeah, that's one nice benefit of this team compared to the Phoenicia team that we were running earlier. With Phoenicia, we actually need to go and you actually need to secure more mana. You need to get 12 mana. Whereas this thing can take it 4 times and actually get full mana. Whereas the other one requires it 5 times to get full mana with a +2. And this has +2 to both of its 2 4s. So either blue or green will get a full mana. And dead. There we go. One set done. And then we just have to clear out dungeons. Then we can actually go power level this thing. And we'll do that with Key Team. Still using with Diabolist as well. Also, I still haven't gotten Final Trait on it, and that's actually deliberate. The reason I did not have Final Trait on Diabolist is because it's actually weaker if you get Final Trait on Diabolist. Because it has a summon on it that you can never undo. So I deliberately kept it unupgraded. Because it's stronger unupgraded. It's, I believe, the only hero class in the entire game where it's fine that where it's actually set up that way. Yeah, I do kind of need to grind for gold some. We're pretty low. We're not even at 5 million yet. However, Explorer is how we would do that anyway, so we'd easily get that done by grinding out the other thing. Or, you know, by grinding out class XP. Both grinding out class XP and grinding out gold are very similar methods in the current state of the game. Also, speaking of levels, we should be gaining a hero level any second now. Yeah, we'll go with that. Take the red. But you probably should have taken the other one and tried for extra turn. We wouldn't have gotten it, but I still should have tried it that way. Better to take a move that has a chance than not have a chance. Why is that trait bad? Because it has a chance to summon a useless troop whenever you cast a spell, which can end up blocking a useful mana. and you can never undo it. So once you have it set, you can never unset it, since it's on a trait. And more often than not, it's just better to not have it. Also, there's no requirement to actually trade it. Kingdoms do not require your hero class to be traded at any point. So it doesn't matter if you have your hero class untraded, as it has no effect on anything. But anyways, that's all those. Now we need to go and get some EXP. So I guess we'll use Phoenicia method. We're already actually set up to do so. We're kind of doing it in Leonis Empire earlier, because why not? We ended up trying a few different locations with Phoenicia build, and this one was working pretty decently. We haven't really ran into any hiccups. Because of course there's a lot of kingdoms that can have some slightly annoying things that will slow this down. It's a really, really specific build. Any hero class with Red Storm can do this though. However, you do need to have pretty high amount of damage and own Phoenicia. Oh, was that just a mech gnome? Guess it was. So unfortunately, we got 9 legendary. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we're going in brown. Gained a level right into random mastery of brown. Does it actually mess up any particular team? Yes. Well, it's hard to think of one exactly off the top of my head. But literally any team that uses yellow will be messed up by having that hero class set. So if your team uses any yellow anywhere on the team, it'll be hindered by having that final trait. These will create a yellow troop in front that will be useless relative to whatever your other yellow is, most likely. With the only exception being if your yellow troop is your first slot. Which is kind of funny because we're actually running a team that's like that right now. Yeah, it's getting pretty cold. I saw those snowstorm pictures earlier too. I ended up checking Twitter a little bit earlier this morning. Like people who had snow, like literally up to their doors. That they opened their doors and the snow outside was in the shape of their door. Because it was that high in snow. Yeah, it would also mess up Fire Sunbird if anyone still uses it, or any kind of similar mechanic. Because traits actually summon before abilities. So if you have a troop that kills itself, and then summons a different troop, there's a couple of them in game. Like Sacrifice, Sunbird, that one green-purple from Zolkari. If you use anything that kills a troop, and then summons something else there off an ability, if you have a trait that summons in that condition, like if something casts or something dies on your team, that trait-related summon will trigger prior to the cast-related summon. So if something like Sunbird, you'll cast it, one of your other summoners will go and overwrite that cast, and then you lose your Sunbird. However, it does allow you to double summon that way, though, too. So, for example, if you cast Sunbird, you have one of them trigger, but you have 2 spots remaining. The Sunbird will be, will still be there, and then you'd also get another summon. The only difference is the summon would still happen first, so the summon would go where your Sunbird was, and then your Sunbird would go in the empty spot. It's kind of weird how it is. But traits trigger prior to cast when it comes to summon on cast. And that's applicable to every summon in the game. It's just a weird priority order. Yeah, my eyes being all weird. Speaking of weird, it's being very non-cooperative. Hopefully new glasses might help. Taha. They were adjusted slightly compared to my previous ones. Or is this like getting them tested every few years though? Just in case. especially with how bad my vision is. But nope, my eyes are nice and healthy. They're just horrible at seeing. Well, it's not really an issue. It's just a weird priority order. Regardless of which way they fixed it, it's going to be a weird priority order. Because if they do it the other way around, then summons are going to get gypped off of cast. I mean, traits will get gypped off of traits. Because right now, the cast is the one that gets lower priority. But if they change it, then it's going to be the trait that gets lower priority. Regardless, something's going to have lower priority. And while it would fix it for some instances, if they were to change it, it would break it for other instances that are currently working correctly. But regardless, they have to have one of them trigger first. They can't both trigger at the same time. One has to have priority over the other. And they just choose to have traits have priority over cast. Oh, why did I do that? We already have all the mana to win. Do you get Guardian Crown from Whitehelm? Yes and no. You don't actually get it from a Whitehelm event. What you get it from is whenever Whitehelm or whenever Hall of Guardians has a faction event, you can end up buying it for 250 gems. Is it? I actually forget how much it is, or was it 500 or 410? What does 410 sound correct? But I believe it's 410 gems. You could buy it during a Hall of Guardian event. However, I believe it's going to be a while until we get a Hall of Guardian event. Because I believe last Tuesday was Warren's. So it's still going to be like 2-3 months before we see another Hall of Guardian event. But yeah, in about 2 or 3 months you'd be able to get Crown again. And there's only one day you'd be able to get it, and that's on the faction day. I should maybe do a video on all the faction weapons. Especially as we are getting closer to almost having all the factions in the game. Well, not necessarily. We have like, what, 16 right now, I believe? 16 factions. Currently, 17 factions exist, and there's 34 total. So we have half the factions in the game. But, yeah, there are exclusive weapons that are only ever available on Tuesdays these days. That rotate through all the factions. And while most of them aren't too good, some of them are. Like, for example, Life and Death. Which is arguably the most annoying weapon in the entire game. Actually, that's not even an argument. It is the most annoying weapon in the game. It's not the best weapon in the game. But it is the most annoying weapon in the game. Anyways, what am I doing? Let's go back to normal world. And head to Leonis Empire. Yeah, Hall of Guardians came pretty recently. So it's going to be a while till it comes again. It happened about 3 weeks ago, given that Warren's was the most recent one. So it's going to be multiple months before we see it again. However, Life and Death's around the corner. I believe Life and Death's in like 3 or 4 events. I believe within the next month we'll see Life and Death available again. And you also don't have to spend gems on it. You can also get it through Diamonds and Soulforge. However, it's probably better value more often than not just to do it through gems. But every single one of those faction weapons are only available once every several months on Tuesday for 1 day. And it rotates through a different one every single week. Are the Delve events rotation random, like the Soulforge pull? No. It's actually predetermined every single time. It goes in order in which they were released. So it goes in order of, let's see if I can even remember the order. No, I'm pretty bad at remembering the order. I'm trying to think of a location where it actually shows it in game. I think the closest thing we have is the order in which they show up on the profile thing. I believe there's this one inconsistency with it. But where to go? Oh yeah, you'd have to go to chat. But if you go to chat, oh, I don't even have chat turned on. Oh, probably because I turned it off for the video this morning. That's why. What am I looking for? Where's the things for factions? Did I just pass them? Where's the faction ones? Okay, here they are. So it goes in order of, it's slightly a weird order here, but it goes in order of All-Seeing Eye, Hall of Guardians, Crypt, Sea of Sorrows, Primal Rift, Warrens, Fangmoor, Dark Pits. Why are the rest of them not here? What are you doing, game? That was like the only place in game to see it properly. Where did the rest of them go? What are they doing? But I forget the rest of the order from there. They did have an order thing for it earlier. Do I just not have them unlocked, or do I have them unlocked? Most likely. If they exist, I have them unlocked. Oh, that's weird. They have it in a weird order. But I need to go find the full order for it. I know, like, generally what the order is. But it's in order in which they were released. Is ultimately the order in which they rotate around. They're actually predetermined every single time. So we actually know what every single one of them will be prior to them ever happening. So we already know what it will be in, like, let's say 13 weeks from now. We'll know exactly what it is. Or 10 weeks, or 5 weeks. Like, you can say pretty much any number of weeks and we'd be able to determine it. Since a new faction comes out about every month. And by about every month, I mean every month, but it falls slightly differently. As far as exact day. What is the most valuable weapon in the game? What do you mean by most valuable weapon? As far as the one that costs the most amount of resources, it is Dawnbringer. And it costs 1.3 million souls, among a few other resources. The other thing that's tied at the most expensive is every single $5 weapon in the game that are only available for $5 and no other method. Most of those weapons are completely useless. As far as the ones that are only behind $5. Not the one that occasionally show up as $5, even though you can get it by other means. But the ones that are $5 only, that are never obtainable by any other means other than $5, are technically also the most expensive. But no, I believe Dawnbringer is the one you would be referring to by that. It's the hardest to obtain weapon that is not money-based. Or at least the most expensive. It's technically not the absolute hardest, in the sense that you can craft it whenever. Whereas other weapons you can only ever get for a certain day or for a certain week. Whereas Dawnbringer you can actually craft whenever. However, the actual amount of resources that it takes is technically the highest in the game. It's also the only mythic weapon in the game, technically. They have yet to ever add another mythic weapon since Dawnbringer. Also because Dawnbringer was so strong that they were concerned with adding more. They will probably eventually. But as it currently stands, Dawnbringer is the only mythic weapon in the game. Oh, so we still haven't gotten that Dailies level. We'll go hand out code as soon as we get the first Dailies level. How have we not gotten it yet? We have to be like a few battles off. The class weapons are mythic rarity, but they're not actual mythic weapons. When I say mythic weapon, I'm referring to a weapon that uses 3 colors. The class weapons are mythic as far as the actual rarity. However, they're in effect not mythic because they don't have the mana cost of a mythic weapon, nor do they have the coloration of a mythic weapon. But yes, technically they are mythic in the sense that you use mythic ingots to upgrade them. But in that sense is the only sense in which they're really mythic. And the fact that they have 10 perks instead of 9. Doomed rarity and mythic rarity both have 10. Common at 5, rare 6, so on and so forth all the way up. Going up by 1 per rarity. However, even though Doomed Rarity is theoretically considered better than Mythic Rarity, they both still only have 10 perks rather than 11 for Doom. Would have been interesting if they would have gave Doom weapons 12 perks. Still not too late to do so. Most Doom weapons are completely useless other than the 6 core AoE into Doom skill conversion weapons. However, one interesting thing about the Doom weapons is they all do boost ratio based on how upgraded they are. So I guess that's their extra benefit, even though they're still at 10. However, most of them gain such a small benefit from it that it's not worth it, other than the Doom skill weapons. I really hope the next batch of Doom weapons are actually useful compared to the really good ones. Because right now the really good ones are the only ones that exist. It makes every other Doom weapon seem like they're 100% pointless, because they are. So Gnome, what do you have? Give us something good. 5,000 souls, Volky? 1,000 souls. Why you gotta do that? Come on, you gotta give us those souls. How else are we gonna upgrade all of our metal, or metal of our troops? You still got so much meddling to do. You still have like 4,000 worth of meddling to do. Or somewhere around there. Did I say 4,000? I meant 4 million. Ah, there's our level. Nice. Okay, let me go hand out code as soon as we finish this battle. Code time! Code. As I turn the heat up, and now it's too warm. Up, and now it just went off. Of course, the second I take it off, I knew it was getting way too warm. Apparently the heater did too. Okay, let's go handle code. Code time. Where'd it go? Let's go get this thing in. Copy. Paste it right over there. Put that right over there. Boom, boom. Paste. And that should be it. Copy the whole thing. Copy. And here you guys go. Here's the redeem code used on gemsofwar.com. Reads the game code section. Enjoy, everyone. Your redeem code can be found, or your invite code can be found in your settings menu. Whatever your game says right over there in the corner. Underneath settings. Redeem code's right over there in chat. Just copy paste the random numbers and letters. And it gives the same reward as always. True treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. It only works on PC mobile version. Enjoy, everyone. And this is from our level, the other thing. That is not the redeem code. There we go. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's keep getting the thing leveled up a bit. Get at least one more level for it tonight, most likely. At least get to, what would that be, 65? Yeah, let's get to 65 tonight. Get that last little extra level in there. One other step towards 70. Once it gets to 70, I probably will never touch it again. Until we absolutely have to force our way to 100 on it. I don't know, eventually I should go finish all these hero classes. It's just really time consuming. I believe I have about 110 hours worth of grinding like this to go do. To get it all maxed. Which is not a small amount of time. And every new hero class adds at least 28 hours to that grind. Another soul gnome. Can you drop more than 1,000 souls? That'd be great. Let's see if he was better than his friend. Are you? Yeah, 5,000 souls. Why can't all of you do that? Because we now need 60,000 souls per troop. So that's like 1/12 of these souls that we need for the entirety of a gold epic level. Since the bronze takes 10,000, silver takes 20,000, and the gold takes 30,000. So of course 60,000 total. And 5,000 is a 12th of it. So that means we need 11 more of those drops. Go. Then we can upgrade one of them. Though generally off of soul gnomes, if you're just grinding explorer, you could probably get about 1 per hour. Soul gnome, 1 or 2 per hour. So that would average to about, let's say, 3,500 souls or so. And then during a vault event, you can actually average upwards of 10,000 souls per hour, just off of soul gnomes. You can even reach closer to 20,000 if you keep getting 5,000 drops. Similar to how you can get several thousand glory per hour by constantly getting 1,000 glory drops off of glory gnomes. If anyone still has any other questions, do let me know, because I can answer them all. Oh, did I just make it smaller? I hate when I do that. There we go. Hopefully that fixed it correctly. That's gonna bother me. Is it correct? It's off by 1 pixel. That will annoy me forever until I fix it. Luckily it has been fixed. I know it's probably not noticeable to any other person, but I notice it. I do need to go find a tool that does lock the menu. I know there's an option for it that exists out there. I just forget what it is. I'm pretty sure there's some kind of program where you can basically launch another program in it, and it makes it so it's impossible to move the borders of the program. So you can't accidentally resize it. And dead. No, we should consistently be able to kill absolutely anything in this faction. I wonder if they're ever going to be really annoying and add a gnome that has like 50% spell reduction or something. I feel like they would do that eventually, because their most recent gnome was impervious, so. Which is a really annoying mechanic to have to deal with. So it seems like they might go more down that route. Oh, that's not full mana. We don't have +2 on red. How unfortunate. Gee, what do we add our +2 on yellow? That's weird. Was there not a better banner? So I like how I have casted Withering Staff about 0 times between all this grinding. It's all just Leprechaun into Phoenicia. What's the team that you're using in class? You mean this team right here? It's Phoenicia, Withering Staff, however, it could be almost anything. Leprechaun, and Mirage Queen. And we're doing this currently to level up the Abalist. You can do this premise with any red Storm hero class. However, there's a possibility you might not have enough damage to do it. Because it does require owning Phoenicia, and it requires having a relatively high magic stat to actually get one shot on tier 5. Or on level 5 Explorer. And the reason why we're specifically doing level 5 Explorer is it has 2 trophies rather than 1 trophy. Also, every single time you move up the difficulty, you get higher rarity tokens. So it helps with that slightly. And you also get slightly more gold. Well, you basically get double the amount of trophy if you can actually one-shot tier 5 with it. Explore 5. Because 1 to 4 gives 1 trophy. 5 to, I believe, 8. Or 5 to 9, I actually forget. Ends up giving 2 trophies. And then like the final 3 or 4 end up giving 3 trophies. Oh, what was the team? It's Phoenicia, any weapon with a Red Storm hero class. Leprechaun and Mirage Queen is this team. However, to do Explore 5 like this, it does require a decent amount of damage. Or a decent amount of magic stat to actually hit that high. Otherwise, it won't be able to kill out tier 5. And the main reason for doing tier 5 is the higher gold rate. The higher token rate, and gives twice the amount of trophies. It gives 2 trophies rather than 1. It's the lowest difficulty that actually gives 2 trophies. What are some good teams that would work for a higher level faction? If you have any kind of Zugoff, you can build around Ubistet. You can build around double Ketris or single Ketris if you have Yasmin's Pride. You can build Urskea's Shield into Rowan. And those are most of your options. Oh, also you could build Urskea's Shield into Tesla. I think people are messing around with that. That uses 0 mythics as well. Also, you can build Truffle without the Forest Troll because you have access to green. So you can still go double Truffle. You can still go like Mountain Crusher double Truffle with like one other option. Maybe Leprechaun or something. Yeah, we also mentioned some teams on the faction video on Friday. And I mostly ran, oh, what was the team I ran? I know the premise of the team. I'm just forgetting the exact order now. I believe it was Mountain Crusher. Yeah, it was Mountain Crusher, Zugoff, Leprechaun, and Ubistet is why I ended up running for the higher levels. And it worked pretty well. You basically get a double kill into a double kill. And then win. Or a single kill into a double kill into single kill, depending on how the battle goes. We never did get that level yet, did we? No. We're stuck at 64. I don't even think it gains that good of a perk at 70 either. I think +1 red might actually be its best perk, oddly enough. It's such a useless hero class. Also, I just realized, is Keylime still streaming? Wasn't he doing a 24-hour stream? Because if he is, and he actually lasted that entire time, isn't he still up? Because I think he started almost around this time. Like, it would probably be ending almost now. Or did he end earlier? I don't know, I've never done a 24-hour stream. I don't think I'd last that long. Oh, he's got 30 minutes left? Nice. Oh yeah, they had to extend it because of donations. Because he was raising money for the fires in Australia, I believe. I think every like $100 or $200 he was adding an hour to stream. Kind of weird how some areas of the world can be set on fire while other parts are like covered in multiple feet of snow. I wish I needed that mana. Not even gonna bother taking it at 5 times. Yeah, doesn't the Earth keep tilting more as well? Didn't it used to be at like an 18 point something tilt? I recall reading somewhere is that the Earth is like constantly like tilting slightly more. Maybe 2 million years ago. And I forget what time frame it was. I could have sworn that it's tilting slowly over time. Eventually seasons would swap. If it did keep doing that, probably. But that'd be a very long time frame. It's not happening in our lifetimes, that's for sure. A good 5 times range to kill. Exactly what we need. I keep forgetting, we actually have 2+2s. Which is generally what you want to run with these kind of builds. But I actually have +2 yellow, +2 green. It's why I actually run this exact banner with it. Same reason why we run the +2 blue, +1 green with Rowan. Because that gives us +2/+2. And this situation also gives us +2/+2. Unlike Rowan, though, this can only get full mana off of 5 times green and yellow, whereas Rowan can get it off of 4 times or 5 times blue or green, which technically makes the Rowan build ever so slightly higher. However, it gives slightly less loot. Doesn't give as good traits, or doesn't give as good metals. Gives less gold, and it gives half the trophies. Running the Rowan build rather than this. However, this can only be ran with red hero classes, or red storm hero classes, which limits the pool of hero classes you can actually use for it if you want to level something. Also, if you want to level something, that also means that you have to have the red storm on it as well. I believe you get that at like level 20 or something. It's pretty early. It's either 20 or 40. I think it's 20. Just pulled Undying Thoughts. It's occasionally used for Blue Guild War Defense. It's pretty much used in no other situation ever. It's a very underwhelming troop for the most part. Especially ever since they added, what's his name? Grey King. Because Grey King is pretty much like a better version of him under player control. Under AI control, Undying's only good for Blue Guild War Defense. But yeah, I wouldn't really bother with it. It's not the absolute worst mythic in the game, but it's pretty far down there. Also, have we still not gotten that level? We have not. Seems like last time our battle should have been. Every single time I check, we're only like a few battles away. I'll check in, it'll be like 7. Let's see. Yep, 3. I knew it was a few. And by a few, I mean literally a few. It was 3. I knew we were close. Request tiered class list and tier class tree ranks. I never did make a class list video, did I? Another thing in the pile of things we need to go cover in the near future. But I never did make a class video. However, we're getting so close to all classes being in the game that I almost feel like waiting till next patch. Because next patch, we could probably see all the way into the future of what every hero class will be. And next patch should hopefully be next Tuesday. So I'll probably cover that very soon then. Also, we just gained our level that we wanted. But yeah, we'll probably cover that next week, assuming we get patch on Tuesday or Monday. Or sometime early next week. Like, we're almost guaranteed getting it next week. No official date has been given. There's like a near 100% chance it's coming on like Tuesday or something in the next few days. Because I can go over hero classes that don't exist yet, because the files will be updated. And we'll already most likely know what the rest of the hero classes are starting in a few days. Yeah, does anyone else have any other questions? Otherwise, probably going to be wrapping up for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night to go do the last Guild War for the week. And just go over next week's event stuff. Also, I still need to cover the event video for this week, because mostly it's going to be a recap video. Which is going to be like the other recap video I did for last week that I actually don't have posted yet. But we'll have both of those posted pretty much at the same time. Which is kind of odd. But then we should be back to normal schedule for posting the Monday event videos. And actually getting them out on time. That should be back to normal. And hey, I should have new glasses next week. Supposedly it could be done as early as Tuesday, so. Not sure when I'm going to pick them up though. Even if they are ready. It's not exceptionally close. Like, it's not so far away, but I think it's like, I want to say 35, 40 minutes? It's definitely not walkable, that's for sure. Which is kind of funny, because the previous glasses I'm wearing now, I actually did walk to go get them. I took the bus that I would normally take for getting to college and grocery shopping to the place where I would get my glasses, then walked all the way there, then walked all the way back to the bus place, then walked back to the house. A lot of walking. Unfortunately, public transportation is really bad in the area I currently live in. In New Jersey, it was decent. Like, I don't know if I should even say good, because it's good compared to what I would be used to, I'm pretty sure it's still bad, just because most American public transportation is awful. But of every public transportation I've seen so far, New Jersey actually does have the best. However, that's probably a pretty low bar, because I've been in areas that have pretty bad public transportation. But all of them so far, New Jersey does have the best, from my personal experience, which isn't much. But anyways, guys, any other questions? Otherwise, yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, which is an hour prior to now tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we do every night. I'll be doing the last Guild Wars, maybe recapping some things on the faction event and going from there. Of course, we're already done with the faction event, so we don't need to do anything with that. And then we'll go over all the new stuff. How much did your gaming PC end up costing? Oh gosh, what was the final cost on it? I believe it was around 1,700. It's actually more than that. However, after all the tax reductions for it, which I should be able to get, I believe it comes out to about 1,700. Otherwise, it's a bit more than that. We'll find out tax season what happens. But, yeah, I believe it was around 1,700 or so. Thoughts? It was worth every penny. Should be able to last about a decade. Has a lot of future-proofing for it that I'll be able to use it for. And all the specs on it seem to be pretty decent for the pricing. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Stay safe out there. And I will catch all of you very soon. Tomorrow night, same time as always. And we'll go over all the new event stuff. And hopefully we have next patch. Next patch should ideally be in a few days. No official date, but it's almost guaranteed coming out like Tuesday or something. So we'll have that to look forward to. It's a pretty small patch, so don't get too hyped for it. We kind of already overviewed it in like a minute during that one stream because there's so few things coming. But we might get some troop rebalance that we don't know about yet. So if nothing else, that might be a little bit interesting if they do end up doing anything with that. But overall, it's going to be a pretty small patch. So we're not really getting anything too big until 4.8. 4.8 is likely going to be the class rework patch, where they're going to be reworking all the hero classes. So we'll see exactly how that ends up panning out. And then 5.0 might be after that. We don't know. 5.0 is likely happening in summer, so there might be a patch between those two patches. But yeah, 4.8 is going to be most likely class changes, and 5.0 is going to be a really huge patch. Everything in it we don't exactly know yet, but we'll find out eventually, probably in a couple of months from now, what's in that big patch. But anyways, guys, I'll catch you later. Thanks for stopping by. Have a wonderful weekend. Leave a like if you enjoyed the stream, and goodbye, everyone.